Hello YouTube, thanks for joining me. I'm going to show you guys today how to make my homemade yeast rolls that I put on my blog. Before I get started, I have a few dishes to clean. You can see those. And it's kind of nasty outside today. So my lighting isn't the greatest. It's kind of rainy and cloudy. So I'm gonna go ahead and do my dishes, start a little laundry, get my little one who's kind of fussy right now, get her set up so that she could eat a little bit of lunch, and then I'll get started and show you guys how I go about making my homemade yeast rolls. Alright, so do you ever feel like it's like impossible to just get started doing something? I had to put the clothes in the laundry and start that, do the dishes, clean some of the counters, get my stuff prepared, get my little one, let's see, she's over here. Can you say hi? She just woke up from a nap, so she's really happy and hungry, and so I got her set up with some pasta, that's her favorite. My husband just ran to the store. He's making some spinach artichoke dip, so I'm making actually the rolls to go with that. And he went to go get some red wine because I think he's making some short ribs, if you could see that in there. He's braising some for tonight for dinner. So let's get started and I'll show you how I make our rolls. So these are some of the things you'll need. I use this rapid rise yeast. It says it's for a bread machine. They have another kind, but I don't use a bread machine, but I like it because it is the rapid rise. It's got the blue label at the bottom. Some whole milk, flour, sugar. I only use half of this sweet cream butter, salt, and then you use your measuring tools and a bread hook. So the first thing you're going to want to do if you have a KitchenAid mixer or a heavy commercial mixer, you're going to want to put your bread hook on. And I like to put all the dry ingredients first that I work with. So for your yeast, you're going to need actually a tablespoon of yeast. Or if you're Alright, I didn't realize that my video had cut out, but what I did was I put a tablespoon of this bread machine rapid rise yeast because it saves time on the rising. It actually, you could have these done within about an hour and a half. They'll be completely risen and cooked and everything, so, or baked and everything. So what I put in here was a tablespoon of the yeast. I put 4 cups of flour and about a teaspoon and a half of salt, and then I just kind of put it on the stir for a little bit just to kind of get the ingredients mixed a little bit while I'm working with the wet ingredients. So I have a bowl, microwave safe. I'm going to put 2/3 a cup of milk, 3/4 a cup of water, and half of this butter, and I'm just going to chop it up into chunks, which is the same as 4 tablespoons, and we're going to put that in the microwave for 1 minute and 15 seconds just so it reaches about 115 degrees. You don't want to kill the yeast if it's too hot. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. So while I have about 34 more seconds left of my wet ingredients in the microwave, I'm going to lightly butter my baking dish. So this is what the wet ingredients look like after you've microwaved them. I'm going to lower this and put those in. And what we're going to do is, if you have a stir setting on your KitchenAid, we're just going to put that to stir, and we're going to leave it to go for about 5-6 minutes, and you'll see what it looks like when we know that it's ready to start breaking apart and piecing into our pan. Alright, so this is what it looks like. It's still kind of shaping there. It'll be ready probably in a little bit. I just lightly, actually, and I just buttered, and I even made sure that I got all around the rim and the edges, just a light butter coat. And with the yeast, after you open it, if you get this kind, you're going to want to make sure that you refrigerate. It says it right on the top, refrigerate after opening. That way it doesn't die on you and it'll still rise next time you go to use it. So I have my little helper here helping me out. He's wearing his little baking apron. How cute is that? Good. Stand up. He says it's good. My mom got us these aprons for Christmas since we love to bake together. Can you say hi? Hi. He loves to help me. What's your name? Liam. And how old are you, Liam? 4. Yes. Alright, so this is just about done. You can take a look. See how it's kind of coming off the sides and it's just a little bit sticky. That's the kind of consistency you're looking for. You're going to want to remember to also preheat your oven to 180 degrees. So while you're doing all of this work over here, your oven is preheating. Back up a little bit, sweetie. And I've just lowered this. I'm going to take it off, and I'm just going to bring the whole bread hook attachment off with it so I can pull it off easily. Scoot over.
Open.
Here, scoot over.
Helping bakery.
Oh, hold this so you can help me. Liam's going to hold our camera so that you all can watch me do this. Watch your hands. All right, just like that. Watch your hands. Got it?
Got it.
Good job. Right here. So I'm going to put a little bit of flour on my hands so that when I come in here to pull this off, you can't put your hand in the way, silly. So when you come in here to pull it off, it won't stick to your hand everywhere. So what you've seen is that I'm just kind of, he's all over the place here. I'm just kind of picking off a little chunk of dough. You can lay it out and separate it if you want, but I just like to take a little chunk and I like to roll it up, and I'll show you how I do that. So you're going to pick off a little piece of dough, and you're going to kind of want to roll it and pinch it underneath until you have a little ball, and then put it there. So this will yield about 15 to 16 yeast rolls.
Mommy.
All right, you can turn it up. So usually while I'm rolling out the dough and putting them in the pan, I let Liam have a little piece of dough to work with and play with his little plastic knife that I think we might have gotten from IKEA. What are you doing, Liam?
I'm rolling the dough.
Rolling the dough. What does it feel like?
Feels like bread.
Yes, but what did you say that it felt like?
It felt like bread.
Is it kind of sticky?
Yes.
It's really kind of sticky, which is how we really want it to be. So you see I have balls here. They're not perfectly sized and they're not all perfectly even, but there's beauty in imperfection, right? If you wanted, you could have we could have taken the whole entire thing of yeast out and bread and just laid it out, rolled it out, and cut it into even pieces before we rolled, but this works just fine for us, especially because I always have a little left over to give to Liam to play. So before we put that in the oven, I'm just going to put a little bit of water on my hand and go over the top with water because it's important that we don't dry this out while it's rising. So that's just a little bit of water I just coat right over the top. And it's ready to go in. So now that I've put those in, I'm going to go ahead and turn off the oven. We don't need to heat it anymore, and just let those rise in there. It's a nice warm place for them to rise. So we'll check back in a little while to see how they... All right, so it looks like they're just about ready to go into the oven. If you can see, they've risen. I would say about a 1/2 inch over the edge of the pan. They're come all together nicely. This side's a little bigger. I must have started that side and then ended on this side. So this side rose a little bit more. So we'll put that in until it's nice and golden brown on the top and cooked through. Alright, so I just pulled these bad boys out of the oven. They are all golden brown. I'm going to let them cool for a little while and then I'll cut them out and put them in a little serving tray for dinner tonight.